Let's talk about the good and the bad of these dialogic presentations, and everything I say here pertains to online presentations more broadly. We think the dialogic actually are a little bit more interactive, but there still are some issues with them relative to face-to-face instruction. And we want to look at those both from the student point of view and from the instructor point of view. So from the student perspective, pluses of these things are they're extremely convenient, so they can be viewed at whatever time the student would prefer, at whatever place they would prefer, and also because they are recorded this way, they're readily available for review, so students can view part of the presentation rather than the whole thing if they're stuck on some piece. So those are definite pluses. From the instructor point of view, there's a little bit of a learning curve on how to do this, but then they're pretty easy to make. People who are already teaching with PowerPoint would have little trouble taking this next step to make a totally online presentation. And then if they are repurposed so that either an instructor teaching multiple sections of the same course using the same online presentation for each of those sections, or over time they're teaching the same course and they reuse a presentation they made one semester in a later semester, there's obviously some time saving to creating assets like those. So that's definitely on the plus side. On the negative side, and we need to be aware of that, from the student point of view, they're interacting at most with the computer. They are not interacting with any other human being, at least during the presentation. And most importantly, if they have a question, there's nobody immediately there to respond to it, so the questions have to be saved, and maybe the thought is lost, sent to a discussion board or that sort of thing. So it's not the same as a live classroom where a student can raise their hand and ask the question then and there. From the instructor point of view, the instructor has to understand that because of the deficiencies on the student side, the online presentation isn't the totality of the online course. So there have to be some other elements to the online course to complement the online presentation so the student can ask questions and can find other processes to absorb the material. Also, if you're going to focus on presentation, this is probably true if you focus on lecture as well, it's an instructor-centric approach. It's not really approach thinking first and foremost about the student learning needs and how to encourage those.